In a world that's spinning faster every day, with endless notifications, racing deadlines, and constant noise, have you ever wondered what would happen if you just stopped? What if the secret to clarity, to real strength, wasn't found in doing more, but in doing nothing at all? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you're going to discover why stillness isn't weakness. It's a superpower. And it might just be the thing your soul has been waiting for. We live in an era defined by speed. Information flows instantly across the globe, news breaks every second, and the hum of notifications, deadlines, and responsibilities rarely ceases. It often feels like the world demands constant motion to do more, know more, and achieve more. Yet, amidst this whirlwind, there lies a quiet, often overlooked force: stillness. Stillness is not simply the absence of movement. It is a deliberate presence, a state of being fully awake and deeply grounded. In a chaotic world, stillness is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It offers clarity when everything feels blurred, peace when anxiety runs high, and direction when we are lost in the noise. This video explores why stillness holds transformative power today, how it can be cultivated, and why it might just be the most radical act of self-care and leadership we can embrace. The modern world champions productivity, connectivity, and hustle. While these values have brought incredible progress, they also come at a cost. Burnout, anxiety, depression, and chronic stress are at record highs globally. Many people feel trapped in an endless cycle of doing without truly being. Amid this cultural backdrop, stillness offers a profound counterbalance. It allows us to reclaim our autonomy over time and attention. In stillness, we resist the pull of urgency and instead choose presence. We stop reacting and start responding. Most importantly, stillness provides the fertile ground where true insight, healing, and creativity can grow. Without stillness, we become like a river during a storm, turbulent, muddy, chaotic. But with moments of quiet, our inner waters can clear, reflecting the world more accurately and allowing us to see ourselves without distortion. Throughout history, the greatest thinkers, artists, and spiritual leaders have recognized the power of stillness. The ancient Stoics, such as Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, practiced daily reflection and internal stillness. They emphasized understanding the nature of events without being overwhelmed by them. For them, stillness was the seat of wisdom. Eastern philosophies, too, have long revered stillness. In Buddhism, mindfulness and meditation are central practices. The Tao Te Ching, an ancient Chinese text, speaks of non-action, not laziness, but acting in harmony with the flow of life rather than forcing things. Religious traditions around the world incorporate stillness into prayer, contemplation, or fasting. These practices suggest that silence and slowness are pathways to deeper truth, not barriers to it. Even in the arts, many great works were born from periods of solitude and stillness. Writers like Virginia Woolf and Henry David Thoreau sought retreat into nature and quiet to birth their insights. Musicians, painters, and inventors often report that their greatest ideas came not during frantic work but in moments of repose. Stillness, it seems, is not a new idea. But it is more vital now than ever. Modern neuroscience and psychology are finally catching up to what ancient wisdom has long intuited: stillness is crucial for mental health. When we rest or meditate, our brains shift from the frantic beta waves of focused thinking to slower alpha and theta waves associated with creativity, intuition, and deep relaxation. The default mode network of the brain, responsible for self-referential thinking, memory consolidation, and imagination, becomes active during restful stillness. Mindfulness meditation, a modern practice rooted in ancient traditions, has been shown to reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression, lower cortisol levels, and even restructure the brain, increasing the thickness of areas related to emotional regulation. Furthermore, periods of deliberate rest enhance problem-solving abilities. Studies have found that moments of mind-wandering often occur when we are still or engaged in simple, repetitive tasks, lead to creative breakthroughs. Thus, science supports what many of us feel intuitively, that we are not meant to live in perpetual motion. Our bodies, minds, and souls crave rhythm cycles of action and rest, input and integration, movement and stillness. Given the proven benefits of stillness, the question becomes, how do we weave it into our busy lives? Here are some practical ways. 1. Mindful breathing. The simplest gateway to stillness is the breath. Pausing to take 3 slow, conscious breaths can reset our nervous system. Inhaling deeply and exhaling fully sends a signal to the body that it is safe to relax. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, stop and breathe deeply. Even a minute of this can make a difference. 2. Digital detox. Our constant connectivity is a major barrier to stillness. Taking deliberate breaks from screens, social media, and notifications allows the mind to settle. Designate certain hours of the day, such as the first hour after waking and the last hour before bed, as device-free. 3. Nature connection. Nature embodies stillness beautifully. A tree does not rush, yet it grows. A river does not struggle, yet it flows. Spend time in nature without an agenda. Walk slowly. Sit by a tree. Observe without needing to capture or share the experience. 4. Silent mornings or evenings. Carving out times of intentional silence, even for a few minutes, can recalibrate our entire day. Start your morning with 5 minutes of silence. No music, no news, just breathing and being. 5. Journaling. Writing our thoughts down helps externalize the noise in our heads. Through journaling, we often find that beneath the surface chatter lies deep clarity. Each evening, write for 5 minutes about whatever is on your mind, without editing or censoring yourself. 6. Meditation. Meditation is the intentional practice of stillness. It trains the mind to rest, observe, and reset. Try sitting quietly for 10 minutes daily, focusing on your breath or simply noticing thoughts without engaging with them. Choosing stillness is an act of courage. In a world that equates busyness with worthiness, sitting still can feel like rebellion. There is guilt, fear of missing out, and fear of falling behind. There is discomfort in meeting our own thoughts without distraction. But what we often discover is that much of the anxiety we fear facing in stillness dissolves when we meet it with compassion and curiosity. We realize that beneath the frantic surface is a wellspring of calm, creativity, and resilience. Stillness does not mean inactivity. In fact, stillness often precedes the most effective action. Like a bowstring drawn back before release, stillness gathers energy, focus, and intention. The greatest leaders, artists, and changemakers often speak of taking time to step back before making pivotal decisions. They understand that wise action requires a foundation of clear seeing, and that clear seeing requires stillness. In many ways, stillness is a radical form of resistance against a culture of noise. Choosing to pause challenges the idea that we are only valuable when we are producing or consuming. It reclaims our humanity in a world that often treats us like machines. Stillness allows us to break cycles of reactivity. Instead of being manipulated by every piece of news, every algorithm, and every external demand, we respond from a place of sovereignty and awareness. Stillness says, I am not just a cog in a machine. I am a being with depth, dignity, and dreams. In a world that profits from our distraction, choosing stillness is a revolutionary act. When we cultivate stillness within ourselves, we offer a profound gift to others. A still person radiates calm. They listen deeply. They create space for others to be heard and seen. In their presence, we feel less rushed, less judged, more at ease. Parents who practice stillness raise children who know how to self-regulate and find peace within themselves. Leaders who embody stillness inspire trust and clarity in their teams. Friends who hold stillness create relationships where authenticity can flourish. In this way, stillness is not just a personal benefit, it ripples outward, healing communities and cultures. In conclusion, the world is not likely to slow down anytime soon. The pace of innovation, information, and change will probably only accelerate. Yet, within us lies the timeless power to slow down internally, to anchor ourselves in the eye of the storm. Stillness is not about withdrawing from life. It is about meeting life more fully, more wisely, and more lovingly. In choosing stillness, we reconnect to our truest selves. We hear the quiet wisdom that is often drowned out by noise. We find strength not in force, but in presence. We learn that real peace is not found in controlling the chaos, but in resting deeply within it. The power of stillness is not theoretical. It is immediate, practical, and transformative. It is available to anyone, at any moment. All it requires is the willingness to pause, to breathe, and to listen first to ourselves, and then to the world around us, anew. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this.